With Cacophony, the internet's #1 gluten-free drag queen cooking show. I'm your host, Cacophony Daniels, and today we're going to be making gluten-free banana muffins. Cause what girl doesn't like a big ripe banana in her muffin? Now, you'll notice I didn't say banana nut muffins because I don't want nuts in my muffin. I want to keep my muffin nice and small. Or, as Latrice Royale would say, keep those nuts away from my face! Now, I want to introduce my very special guest, television legend Jim J Bullock. Come on over, Jim J.
Hey,
how are you?
I was just hanging out in your hallway.
I know. Lots of people hang out in my hallway. It's a very popular place, my hallway.
It's a nice
Throw
place
hot dogs
here.
down it. Oh, isn't it though?
Where are we?
Oh God, no, we're in hell. We're in hell.
That's
Otherwise known as the desert in the middle of Utah. I won't say the name of the town. I don't want to besmirch the reputation. Yes, exactly.
Yes,
no, but
exactly.
we'll just say we're in the middle of nowhere.
And we're both here.
And we're both here.
Which is what's so scary about it.
Now, Jim J, do you
Yes.
like to cook and bake?
I do. I love to cook, and I do cook quite often, but baking is something that I do every so often, but I'm not really good at it.
Well, that's okay.
And I don't know anything about gluten-free.
Oh, well, we're here to learn about that today. Now, as you know, gluten is a protein that's found in wheat and some other agricultural products, and some people have allergic reactions to it, and some people are just staying away from it because it's kind of a fad right now. It does make some people feel like they don't swell as much, especially singers and actors. They feel like their voices swell if they eat gluten.
Really?
So yes, some people do say that. So it definitely helps with that. It helps with digestive issues too. And then there are the people who actually suffer from celiac disease, which is a disease where your body cannot digest gluten. It makes them very ill whenever they eat it.
My friend Randy has heart problems, and
Oh.
his heart specialist has put him on a gluten-free.
Oh,
baked banana.
now, do you like bananas?
No,
Yes.
but, okay, wait, no, here's the deal. I like the taste of a banana, God. I like the taste of a banana,
Yes.
but the texture gags me.
Yes.
Gags.
No, if you stick a banana too far in,
Oh, yes.
you can gag.
Yeah.
So we want to stay away from
Not even good at
the
that.
texture of
You
that.
got a whole bag of them.
I know.
What
We
the
have a whole
hell?
bag. Well, those we have some ripe bananas and some unripe bananas. Now today we're going to be working with some very ripe bananas.
Yes.
It's still a yellow banana, but for this recipe you can even go with a brown banana.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes,
Now,
okay.
now, if you have old bananas laying around your apartment or your house, this is the perfect thing to do to use them up without throwing them away. Food waste is a big problem.
Yeah.
So if you have an older banana, you can use your older banana in my muffin. Isn't that nice?
You can also freeze your old brown banana.
Yes, that's true. You can. You can freeze your old bananas too. It's like cryogenics for your banana. So let's get down to business. Now, for today's recipe, you're going to need 1/2 cup of shortening, 1 1/2 cups of sugar, 2 well-beaten eggs, which will beat the eggs together. That'll be fun. 3/4 teaspoon of vanilla, or whatever kind of extract you'd like to use. I find vanilla works best, but if you're an almond person, maybe like an almond extract or something like that, that would be okay. Then we're going to use 2 cups of gluten-free flour, which I'll talk about more. 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/3 cup sour cream, which I'm also going to talk about more. Sour cream is really important in this recipe. And 1 cup of banana pulp, which is about 2 mashed bananas. So, first, let's peel our bananas.
Okay.
How are you at peeling a banana, Jim J?
Well, I know this is not the way to do it.
Oh, it's not? Oh, how
No,
do you
you're-
do it?
The way the monkeys peel bananas is like this.
Oh.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We're learning so many things today.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know why I knew
Oh,
that.
but look at that. And you know what? It works very well, because here comes that banana.
So
Yes,
I'm putting
well,
it
yes, why
there.
don't we put it in there? That's,
Okay.
that's lovely.
Am I
take
gonna
mine and
mash
put
it?
on a plate? Yes, you just start mashing that banana. Now, like I said, a brown banana is going to do you better for mashing than a yellow banana or a green banana. A green banana would be very hard. And I do like hard bananas, but not in my muffin.
Firm.
Yes, no, firm is good. So you're just
Firm.
going to want to mash it up. Just use that fork. Mash, mash, mash.
Really, so mash it really good.
Yes, you want to. It's going to turn into a pulp. We want it to be very liquidy.
Okay.
When we add it into our mix.
This makes me want to vomit.
Oh. Well, please don't vomit in my muffin. You can do lots of things in there, but don't vomit in my muffin.
Yeah, this is getting very liquid.
Oh, good, perfect.
Yeah,
See?
yeah.
Now here, what I'll do then is add my second banana. Of course, you know, I'm second banana to you, Jim J, your
yeah,
TV star.
right,
Here we go.
yes.
We'll just add that in there. You can continue to mash that.
Okay.
We're getting that on camera there. Lovely. Wonderful job.
This is like Barbie bowls.
Yes,
They're so small.
I know, they're so tiny. Well, you know, I'm delicate and petite, so I have small bowls so that I have small portions.
You must travel with your own bowl.
I do. I travel with all of my own silverware and bowls. And when I get to a place that doesn't have silverware, I just go buy my own. It's
You
fine.
know, I love cooking segments. I
Yes.
have to say, I've always loved
Well,
and enjoyed being part of cooking segments.
Because it's something fun that we're doing together while we're.
I know. And cooking is something that does interest me.
Yes, well, I mean, everyone has to eat. Now look at that's coming out lovely.
That's really good. Look at
that's
that.
wonderful.
Good
so we'll
texture.
go ahead. Yes, lovely texture. So let's set that aside.
Okay.
That's fine. Perfect right there. Now we're gonna beat a couple of eggs. Now, you had such great tips about peeling a banana. Do you have any egg cracking tips too?
Not really. I mean, do
Now-
you have anything?
No,
that you
the
do
Spanish
that?
call these huevos, which you know, we do
Huevos?
want huevos in our muffin.
Are you
just not,
Spanish?
no,
Oh,
not at
oh.
all. I've just hung out with a lot of Latino men.
You're
You know what I
bilingual?
mean? Yes, I'm not by
Oh,
anything.
no, not that.
Okay, well we'll just crack the eggs in here. We'll see if I make a giant mess.
More Barbie bowls.
Yes, more Barbie bowls. There we
Yeah.
go. I'm a Barbie bowl in a Barbie apartment. Perfect.
Now, do you put these eggshells down your garbage disposal?
Well, I will, I'll probably put them there. You know something that I do that drives my husband crazy is I put, eggshells back in the egg carton. Because I feel like they might as well
Yes.
just go back in there.
Am I taking this from you?
And yes, why don't you go ahead and
Okay.
beat those eggs?
My sister does that.
Yes.
And I went, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, because you're going to throw it all away anyway.
Yeah.
Now, in communities where you recycle the egg carton, that's not a good idea because then you have food in the recycling and you don't want that. So
Right.
if you're in a community where you can recycle, then you do want to throw your eggshells away.
If you took that angle of that camera down a little bit, it would look like I'm whacking off in your kitchen.
Who doesn't whack off in the kitchen every once in a while?
Right.
That's lovely. Look at the lovely color there.
Yes.
Now, we're going to go ahead and mix all of our dry ingredients.
Yeah.
So that was the baking soda and the kosher salt. So I've already mixed the kosher salt and the baking soda in here. We'll go ahead and put a bowl right there. Why don't you dump those in there for me? And then we'll use our 1.5 cups of sugar. Now, it's a lot of sugar. I do like a sweet muffin. How about
yeah.
you? Yes.
Oh, yes,
Who doesn't love a
definitely.
sweet muffin? So we're going to just put that in there. And then last but not least, we're going to put in our gluten-free flour.
Oh, yes,
Now,
talk about that.
those of you who are familiar with cooking gluten-free often, you'll notice that I'm not putting any kind of gum in lots of gluten-free recipes because there is no gluten in the flour. Also call for something to help the recipe rise in the oven, a xanthan gum or something like that. But because this recipe has the sour cream in it, the cultures in the sour cream act the same way that the gum would act in the recipe, and so they help the muffins to rise.
Oh.
It's lovely. So why don't you go ahead and just whisk those together really quickly if you don't mind.
How
Thank
long
JJ.
have you been cooking or baking?
I've been gluten-free for about 2 years, and for me it's more about I don't have celiac disease, I don't have any medical reasons that I know of that I have to be gluten-free. For me it's about the way I feel. When I eat gluten, I do tend to feel bloated and sluggish, and when I stay away from it, I feel better. So,
Now I'm going to
that's-
set that there.
Set that aside, that's lovely. So now we're going to go ahead and start with our wet ingredients. Now, shortening is one of them. Now, boys, take your Crisco out of the
Shortening.
bedroom and bring it to the kitchen and use it for this.
Skim
There
it
we go.
first.
Perfect. Skim it. Oh, no, what
yeah.
does that mean?
Skim the jar of Crisco.
Oh! Oh, that's
Please
yes,
skim it.
no, that's true. You don't want to have any other kind of
Now,
matter.
just
in
get
your
a thread
shortening.
and pull it and skim it. Just cut off that top layer or any, you know,
any particulate matter.
Any depth there, it's gone.
Why don't you go ahead and soften that shortening for us really quickly?
Wow.
Look at that. You're such a pro at this. So go ahead now and mix in, let's see, while you're going to mix in the beaten egg, I will measure out 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla.
So I'm going to mix that in with this.
Yes, mix that in with that. Yes, go ahead and mix that right on in. And I'm going to mix out, 3/4 teaspoon of vanilla. I'll put that in there with this as you mix it. Here we go. Lovely. And as I said before, you can use any extract that's your favorite. If you like almond or I wouldn't suggest using a lemon extract here.
Coconut?
Coconut would be lovely. A coconut extract would be lovely in this because it would give you that tropical flavor with the banana. That would be beautiful. Something like that, but I prefer vanilla. I like a good vanilla muffin. All right. Oh, look at you. You're doing lovely.
Look at me go.
Look at you go. And
Mama!
You're doing so great with that fork, too. Now, if you want, I also have a selection of tools. I've got this lovely wooden spoon or this other wooden flat spoon thing. I don't know what this is, but
I will just stick with the fork.
you stick with the fork. Oh, now one thing I forgot to do, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I
God,
forgot to preheat my oven.
Oh, well, Lord, honey, don't burn your Mac.
No, I know.
Your Mac computer.
No, I don't want to burn anything. Now, because we're far enough along in the process, it's not a big deal. But you are going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Lovely. How's that going? Oh, that looks great.
That looks good?
Yes, that looks lovely. Now go ahead and add your banana pulp in there. Or if you want me to do that while you're stirring, that'd be lovely too. Let's see if we're getting this on camera here. Look at that. Oh, that's just... Now I know, this banana right now doesn't look super appetizing, but don't you worry. We'll make it look good for you.
Now let me ask you, if you had an electric mixer, you could be using that, but we don't have, because we're in hell.
Yes, because we're in hell, we barely have electricity, let alone electric mixers. And you know, I'm actually okay not using an electric mixer. I prefer to do things by hand. You burn calories and you save electricity. You're saving the planet and saving your waistline. Who doesn't like that?
There you go.
Look at that. That's coming along. That looks lovely. Now, it's not important that everything be perfectly blended at this point. You're going to start mixing in the dry ingredients, and once you've done that, everything is going to mix together lovely. So let me make sure we've got everything in there. The sour cream, of course, the most important ingredient. Now, I had a tip for the sour cream, too. This recipe calls for 1/3 cup of sour cream. Now, a 1/3 cup, everyone's got a 1/3 cup, but sometimes you're using multiple cups as you're baking, right? Now, one thing I have found is, for all you gym bunnies out there who drink protein shakes, guess what the size is of that scoop inside your protein shake? It is 1/3 cup. So if you ever need an extra 1/3 cup measure in your kitchen, just take one out of your protein shake, and voila, you're all set. Now, that goes for muscle milk. I'm not sure with every protein shake, but I think a lot of them are similar. So here we are. We're just going to take our 1/3 cup of our sour cream.
Now, do you use a low-fat sour cream or?
I am using a full-fat sour cream. You could use a low-fat sour cream. I think they would still come out just as moist and delicious. Now, my grandmother's old-fashioned recipe from the 1940s, it actually called for sour milk in this recipe. Did you ever have a recipe that called for sour milk?
Yeah, well, isn't that buttermilk? Is that not buttermilk?
I'm not sure if buttermilk is sour milk. I think they're two of them are kind of different, but...
Wow, that's weird.
I know, isn't that weird to call for sour milk? Strange.
Okay,
now that looks lovely, and adding the sour cream already made the ingredients blend together.
Creamy,
Yes, it's very creamy. So now, we're going to go ahead and add the dry ingredients too. I'm going to add them gradually. If you add them all at once, it'll become very difficult to stir.
Okay.
So we're going to add them gradually in here. I'm just going to go ahead and start putting them in, and you go ahead and stir as you go. That's going to make these delicious. Now you'll also notice that I'm using these mixing bowls that have a pour spout. I find that they make it very easy for both mixing and later when we're pouring them into the muffin tins, it'll make it easier to pour each serving. Because you don't have to use a ladle and go through all of that. You can just pour it right in. So if you can find, I got these at the dollar store, if you can find a mixing bowl with a pour spout, that'll really make your job a lot easier.
Did you get that the same day you got that?
What, the ring?
No.
You bitch.
No, not that.
My jewelry is all $6.99 or less. No, listen. The whisk, I probably got it all the same time. Because this is not the first time I've made these muffins before,
I've had your muffin.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't had my muffin? Let's be honest.
Look how it's all like,
it's
really
just
nice.
coming together. It's
coming
very
together,
nice, yes. There we go.
I'm being pushed out of the kitchen by your hair.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? You want to move in?
No.
You know, I have that problem. It's a galley kitchen.
No, it's...
I actually need a bigger
the
kitchen.
camera is like, no, I've got it. I've got it. I've got it. Oh, my God.
Now, what was your favorite cooking segment that you ever did on a television show? Do you remember?
Oh, you know, I did something way back in the 80s called Kitchen Aerobics.
Kitchen aerobics? That sounds
This
fabulous.
is when the aerobic craze...
Oh,
You know,
sure.
because I'm 1,000 years old.
So nowadays it would be Kitchen Zumba, right?
Very much so.
Yes, okay.
And there was a show called AMLA, and it was hosted by Regis. Regis left it to go do the Kathy and Regis show.
Okay.
But anyway, I don't know if he was hosting it at this particular time or not. But I just took over the kitchen and I did ridiculous things. Oh, I had so much energy back then. And I just was like doing all sort of kitchen aerobics. Like, there's not a double door refrigerator, but like the double door dips and everything.
Oh.
And grind. Ridiculous. But it makes no sense now. Well, this was a parody,
though.
You understand this was a parody.
Oh, I thought it was a real
no,
thing.
no. Like I was grinding the coffee beans with my hands and peeling the carrot, doing like, you know, on the countertop. It was ridiculous, and they just let me go. So that was actually so much fun that they let me do that.
Well, and who wouldn't? Who wouldn't just let you go? Now, look at how beautiful that batter is turning out. Now, you're going to notice the sour cream mixing with the gluten-free flour is going to make the batter seem very fluffy. Lots of cake and muffin batters are very runny and liquidy. This one is not that way because the ingredients are already starting to come together and rise together. So it's all right when this batter seems fluffy and thick, that's okay. There will be less rising in the oven because it's rising before you even put it in there.
Wow, amazing. That's
Isn't
cool.
that fun?
Yeah.
That's neat. All right.
Okay.
So now we start pouring into the muffin tins. Now, this can really be difficult, or it can be very easy. Like I said, having thank you, darling. Having the pour spout on the batter makes it a lot easier to pour these things in. So I'm going to go ahead and start pouring now. You'll notice the batter is very thick, but that's all right. I wonder if this is getting on camera. I'm going to pour it on this one. I'm going to go ahead and start pouring that in. Now, most recipes for a muffin would say that you'd fill the cup about half full. I'm going to fill about 3/4 or 2/3 full because, like I said, this isn't going to rise as much as a typical muffin or cake would do. So I'm going to go ahead and just fill that in. And it can just plop in there and we'll clean it up later. You know, it's just like sex. You make a mess and then you clean it up. It's just fine.
Skim.
Part of it, skim right off the top, exactly.
So does this only make 12?
No, I'm not sure how much it's going to make this time.
Oh Lord, you've got all those muffins.
I've got all these. I've got lots of tins now, just in case.
Oh.
Now you'll notice that I'm using little wrappers. I prefer to wrap my muffin, but if you'd like to go bareback and just put it in there with some lube, that's fine too. You go ahead and do that. But I like to use a wrapper. It's more fun for groups if you have a wrapper. It's easier to share your muffin.
Oh, it is. It's less messy.
It's less mess to share your muffin if it's wrapped up. So I like to do that.
Would you call these muffins or are they cupcakes?
I would call these muffins only because I don't frost them.
Okay.
And that's something that I feel like cupcakes have to have a frosting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, that's all right. That's just fine. Like I said, you make a mess. That's what you have latex sheets for, right? You just make a mess and you clean it up. Now look at that. So I've made just about, how would we say, this is 15 muffins?
Yeah.
So now we're going to go ahead and put everything, oh darling, I'm sorry.
No.
Share the towel. It's just like being in a hot bathhouse. You share one towel. That's fun.
Oh God.
Yes. Oh no, that's
share
the best.
one towel.
Well, if you're down on your luck, if you're down on your luck and you can't rent one, then you just share one with a friend that you meet. That's just fine. So now we'll go ahead and put these in the oven.
Ready?
Yes. Oh, I'm so ready. Oh, I love this. Yes, slide it right in. Ooh, here we
You gotta watch that hair.
Yes, watch that hair, especially if you're wearing synthetic hair, ladies. Make sure it stays far away from
your hair.
Oh, of course. This is my hair. That's not a wig or whatever that is.
Oh, is that
What's
your
that
pussy?
song? Yes, that's my pussy on the internet. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. We're talking about muffins, not pussies.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're going to go ahead and bake these muffins at 350 degrees for about 19 minutes or until they start to brown and the tops begin to crack. Now it's hard because they come out brown anyway, so it's hard to see the color sometimes, but when the tops begin to crack, that's when you'll know that the muffins are finished and ready to pull out of the oven. So we'll come right back once the muffins are all done and we'll give them a try. crack. Oh, you and your crack.
Muffins
Watch out
crack.
with the crack. Oh God, the crack of my muffin. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment of truth. Our muffins are ready to come out. I don't know why I looked over there. Our muffins are ready to come out of the oven. Oh, don't you just love a good coming out party?
That's me back, you know.
Oh, now
look at
those. Oh, they're just
crap.
looking lovely. Look at those perfect
Yeah.
muffins. Look at that beautiful banana muffin. I'll pull that here.
And they smell so good.
Oh, they smell fantastic. Now, this is the kind of banana you could get into,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because all that texture will be gone. Oh, they're just going to be delicious. Now, as I've said, this isn't a cupcake, it's a muffin, so you don't have to worry about frosting it. When they've cooled, I would let them cool for at least 20 minutes. You can go ahead and take them out, put them in a lovely basket, and bring them to brunch, and you'll be all set. Won't that be delicious? Oh, now something I would like to say, too. As you'll notice, lots of drag queens say, you're not really in drag if you're not wearing nails. And I would say, if you're working in the kitchen, don't wear false nails, because you never know when they're going to fall into the batter and you've lost
Like I was making
Oh, you made a quiche?
I made a quiche.
Did you lose a
Well,
nail?
no, I didn't make a quiche. I didn't make a quiche, but I was making the chicken enchiladas and the Band-Aid came off.
Oh,
but
oh God! See, so you've got to make sure you stay
No,
sanitary.
the Band-Aid
Oh,
didn't
my-
go in the chicken enchiladas, but my Band-Aid came off when I was washing something, and I went, oh my God, I'm so glad it came off there instead of someone going, these are really, what is that? Oh my God.
See, and that's why you don't want to wear false nails in the kitchen. So go ahead and wear your eyelashes and your wig and your heels and all of that, but don't wear false nails in the kitchen. All right, Jim J, should we try our muffins?
Let's try.
Let's try a muffin. Do you want to split a muffin?
I'll split a muffin. Because,
Let's
you know,
split a muffin.
darling, I am a nutritionist.
Oh, no.
Well, I have a bedroom
I
full
didn't
of
know I go back.
stuff.
Now here it came out. Look, it came out lovely. It's nice and brown.
Beautiful.
It's firm on the top. I like a good firm muffin. All right, so I'm just going to here. Why don't you hold the plate?
Okay.
Just hold it up for the camera over there. I'm just going to cut the muffin in half. Oh, that's just so nice. Look at that.
That's great.
Split it open here. Here we go. I can zoom in on this later. Oh, look how delicious that looks. Nice and crumbly, but still moist and delicious here. I'll take that part. Why don't you take that piece and we'll just give it a try. Thank you. Sorry, there we go. Oh, let's taste my muffin. How does my muffin taste?
Oh my God, it's delicious. I love the crunch on the top.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
It's
wow.
really moist and really yummy.
Mm-hmm. Those came out delicious this time. Mm.
And see, I like the banana flavor.
Yes. Oh my gosh, so
No,
good.
this is so good.
This is so
You know,
wonderful.
it's so moist and delicious.
Mm-hmm. And still warm, hot out of the oven. Everyone loves a good warm muffin, right? Absolutely. Well, Jim J, thank you so much for being my guest
Oh
today.
my God! Come on!
no.
Cheers!
Cheers! Thank you so much for being my guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Gluten Free with Cacophony. I'm your host, Cacophony Daniels. This is Jim J Bullock, and we're saying goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. Yes.